have a filter on the other thing, don't I? There we go. Why is my camera broken now? Oh my gosh. Uh, no, no. There we go. I checked all of this a half an hour ago. It was all working. Let's see. Can I get you to reset? There we go. Okay, cool. All right. It looks like I am indeed live. Let me just double check here, make sure everything is coming through okay. Cool, everything's coming through okay. Alrighty. Hello. We have Rock Zombie and Zangeon17. Thank you. Thank you. I really wasn't sure at first because as soon as I got on, my camera was frozen. Everything was broken. All right, so we are going to work on some bugs. Let's see. Rock Zombie, I think that's you, the R dot 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 in Discord, and you're asking how to add weapons to vehicles. So that has worked in the past, and I think I broke it with some recent changes. So this sounds like a sneaky way of asking for a bug fix, but that's okay because we can totally do work through how we'd go about doing that. Um, let's see. What other questions are there in here? I'm going to do these out of order because I think it would be good to start with how to set up a test environment for doing development with Foundry. You've spent all day reading Starship rules. I'm so sorry. Don't get me wrong. I love the system. I think the Starship rules are actually very, they're very, they're interesting. I don't think they're very good though. Um, like I don't have like huge problems with them. It's more like they don't feel like they're coherent. They feel like some things work, some things don't, and they don't feel consistent. That's the word I'm looking for. They aren't consistent. But yeah, let's work on setting up dev environment. So the first thing you need to do is install Foundry, obviously. So I have an instance of Foundry up and ready to go. That's and so then the thing is, I have it running locally, so I don't have to deal with like starting up a server anywhere. Actually, often when I run the game, I will run it just locally like this, and it works pretty well. I haven't run a game in it in like, let's see, how old's my nephew? We stopped right before he was born. I don't know. It's about 2 years. It's been a long time. So step one, start up Foundry. Step two, so I like to use, well, you're probably going to want an IDE. You don't have to have one though. So actually, I can show you how to do. So if I log in as Game Master, just built into Foundry. This is actually a Chromium window, so you have the benefit of being able to. They're lackluster, make the characters feel less important. Yeah, I agree. If I were to do a lot of ship-heavy combat, I would probably start tweaking it so that the characters had something to do. I often feel like they don't, so I kind of avoid using that part of the system. But there are other games that have starship systems, and I probably, if I was doing a real heavy game with that, I'd use one of those instead. Okay, so Foundry. If you hit the F12 key, it'll bring up this extra window or the panel, and you can do so you can't actually develop here. Obviously, this is just but you can debug and you can do everything here. So if you're limited to just having like a text editor, which I don't recommend for JavaScript because JavaScript is hard. It lets you do so much, and which makes it actually harder because it lets you do things in so many ways. So get an IDE. There's lots of free ones out there. I use IntelliJ myself. Well, I use IntelliJ for Java development for like work and for for fun. But they also have what's it called? WebStorm is the IntelliJ one. But yeah, so you can go here. If you go into sources, you can find all of your files that are currently loaded. Will Why can't I find there we go. All your files that are currently loaded, they'll be in here under, let's see, under modules. So this is where all of you, wait, no, this isn't it. Wait, did it move things around? No, that's not it. So this is, here's actor MJS. That is like one of the main parts of it, but why am I not seeing my code? Oh, it's right here. Systems SWSE. Well, it's been a while since I did that. I've worked in here, so. So no, you do not edit in here. I don't know if you can. You probably can. I think you can make like spot, but it doesn't actually save back to the file. So if you want to try things out, you can do some really rapid prototyping in here, and it will I believe it will update. And so like it will run the code. It will like change the way the code's running here. I don't really recommend doing that. I'm just showing you a quick way to get a debugger up and running. So here I am. Oh yeah. So see, I click here. It has this little blue thing. Now next time something gets run past there, it will actually pause. So let's go and let's see. Something that I know is going to be hit every time. Oh, computer data, when I was still trying to get a computer thing working, and I still have to get back to that. All right, so the way that actors and items work is they have a they have a prepare method in here. So let's see, prepare data, it's right here. This is run, it propagates everything you need into the different so essentially what you want to put in here is stuff that will need to be used to calculate out stuff, if that makes sense. That's not a good way of saying it, but there's a lot of things I have that are loaded on the fly. There are some things that are calculated early. It kind of depends on what kind of data it is. But this is always going to be run every time, except in this case, I do have a way to essentially turn this method off during uploads. That's what the skip prepare is for. When I'm uploading, I don't actually want to do all the processing. I just want to upload as much data as I can as fast as I can, and then it runs after. All right. So I have a breakpoint right there. So let's see. Can I get to? Oh, actually, if I just hit. So if you hit F5, it'll also reload any code. So sometimes you have to hit F5 twice for it to reload, but it will reload any changes you've made locally from your IDE. So if I hit F5, now it's going to stop here. The problem is I have no idea what actor this is. So if you have dozens of actors and you're trying to debug a specific one, you're going to have a hard time using this. Let's see. I actually haven't done this well. Okay, so you can do a conditional breakpoints in here as well. This isn't how I do it. This is just if you don't have an IDE ready to go. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how I actually do things. I have a bunch in here apparently. There we go. How I actually do things. So I use, this is WebStorm. I always want to say WebSphere, but that's an IBM product I used to use at work that I absolutely hate. So in here, we're going to go over here. I'm going to close this and reopen it so that it's a fresh session. I don't need that. Nope, I still don't need that. Keeps trying to open the window. Okay. So up here, I have added a configuration that allows me to run something. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. In my case, okay, so I'll show you. Edit configurations. It's under JavaScript debug. The more different things you have installed, the more stuff will appear in here, and you can add a bunch of different. Like I think this specifically runs the CSS generator. This actually doesn't do. These don't work. I probably should remove them. But this lets you just run something from this line up here at the top. I think, yeah, okay. So in my case, I have two. I have Foundry VTT, and that's just going to hit my local instance. So I found my local IP address. put in the port and said game. If you leave game off, it will, every time you refresh, it will try to get you to log in again. If you just hit game, it will maintain the session and you can more rapidly test. That's something I noticed after, like, I think I was doing this for 6 months in here without, and I kept logging in every time. And I'm like, oh, this is taking forever. Yeah, but add game, that works really well. And that will allow you to debug from the IDE while you're running Foundry. I also have one here for test, and all that does is adds this flag, and this will trigger the test suite that I have built in. I am not using like I'm not like using Jest or Jasmine or any of the standard ones, because when I started, I couldn't figure out how to get them to install. I could get them to install. I couldn't get them to run while also using the Foundry resources. So I couldn't like they would run fine until they were like, oh, I don't know what an actor is, because I could not get them to load that. So instead of beating my head against it, I just went ahead and skipped that for now and came back. That's a good way of solving problems, I find. Looks like the code is correct in here. Uploaded the Zangian, or is that? Oh, how to get VS Code? I have very little. I haven't used VS Code since it was still called Visual Studio. I didn't like doing it because I think I learned Visual Basic in that. I just had it left a bad taste in my mouth. I've never gone back. I've heard people like it now. I think I do have to get back into it because I think my company's having me start doing some C++. But yeah, it's something I've avoided for illogical reasons. Anyway, so yeah, this is how you get that set up. To add it, there's a little plus here. JavaScript debug. I don't remember what all the rest of these are. Most of these are stuff that I'm not even, doesn't even apply. They give you a lot of options. JavaScript loves its frameworks. All right. How to add a droid part to a sheet for an NPC droid. We can go over that. All right, so that's my development environment. What was the other questions around it? Let me just double check, make sure I can answer everything. Edit and test changes, yes. That's pretty much it. That there isn't a lot to it. Yeah, so the rest of my development environment does involve using IntelliJ. So I do have an IntelliJ, and unless you have a pretty powerful computer, this is I built this like a year ago. It's pretty tough. Don't try to run IntelliJ and WebStorm at the same time. They both use quite a lot of resources, and you can. Before I added more RAM to this one, I actually managed to crash it a couple of times by running both. Yeah, so this is actually yeah. So if you see, I got Saga Screen Scraper. This is what I use to scrape everything. So we can actually walk through that in a little bit if you guys want to see that too. Yeah. So then what that's going to do, and it's oh yeah, I don't know why I closed that. So what that's going to do, there's a bunch of different methods, or sorry, a bunch of different classes like that are exporters. They export it to a JSON file, and then that will show up. And the thing is, these are specifically for my machine. They're like the specific paths. I didn't bother at any point making it so that it works like out of the box for somebody else. That is something I do need to work on. I haven't had a lot of I haven't had a lot of other contributors until about this week. I had one other contributor up until this point, so now I think I have 4 total. So that's, which I'm very excited for. I'm really glad. Okay, yeah. So then that will generate. It dumps it into a folder here called raw export, and that's. So it's always going to create a manifest.json, and that manifest it lists out all of the other JSON files in the folder, and then it will include. You missed what I just did. Which part? This part? Okay, so this is the part that generates the JSON file. So system location. This is a spot on my computer specifically. If you check this out, yeah, so you see it's got my part of my last name, my app data folder. It's pointing directly at my Foundry instance. So yeah, if you check this out, you're going to have to update this. I need to fix that so it's not doing that and have it give it like a proper path, but I haven't done that yet. This is the specific file that gets generated. Actually, we can just run this. This takes like 2 seconds to run because affiliations are a very small data set. So we run this. It'll take a couple seconds, and it will generate a manifest file and an affiliations.json file. Ooh. I said it takes 2 seconds, and now it's not even building? Okay. It's taking a bit to get initiated here. Oh, there we go. So it also, for my benefit, exports all of these so that I can. Some of the other exporters some occasionally require a list of. So, for instance, let's see, like classes require a list of feats so that they make sure that the feats that they're generating exist, that kind of thing. So I do have a printout on each thing. All right. So after you have that, we're going to go back to WebStorm. WebStorm. Now you'll see there's affiliations.json and a manifest.json. The manifest just says, hey, affiliations is here. And the reason for this is because when we're doing an upload, it looks specifically for this manifest file. So you can't like do wildcard searches because you're hitting a REST endpoint. So instead of trying to guess what's going to be there, I just said this manifest file will always be there, and it's going to list out the other files. So this one's like, so this, it tells it, hey, this is here, and then when you run the specific command, let's see, do I have, where's my, oh, I don't have one. Okay, we're gonna run Foundry from here. This will open another window. There you go. All right, so we come in here, and then we're gonna go to, we're at F12. And in the console of this, and this was a workaround because I couldn't figure out how to directly access the old database format, and so I thought, well, I know how to insert into the database from inside of Foundry, so I'm going to do that. And then all you're going to do is run games.swse.generate compendiums, and I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to have to deal with the cleanup because there is a bit. But you run this, and it's going to add. It's not going to replace this one specifically because as a player in the game, I can't edit compendiums that are built into the system. I can only edit world ones. So it's going to create a new world one with the same name. So then after that's done, you come back to IntelliJ here, and there is another method or there's another file to run, and that's move world compendiums to system. And what that's going to do is it's going to just copy the files from one place and put it in the other. And this is also not going to work on your machine when you download it at the moment. It doesn't. It's set up specifically to work on my machine. Which, yeah, I need to fix that. That's on my to-do list. For now, I think most of you can, if you do want to mess with this, you probably can figure out where to point it. It just, for now, it doesn't work. So yeah, that's my process for getting compendiums in. Let's see, what else is there? That's really the gist of it. Yeah, so my Git or like the Git project is directly in the Foundry folder for systems. That makes it pretty easy to work with, and it updates every time you hit F5. It will pull in any changes you've made directly to that file. So that seems to be the quickest way for me. Okay. Did I go too? Do you have any questions on that? Did I go too fast on anything? Okay, well, I am going to assume I did a great job for now and continue on. All right. Uh, so let's see. Rock Zombie, you asked how. Why do they? None of the vehicle templates include a gunner station. Oh, so that actually is because. Let's create a. I'm going to do this and it's not going to work. I'm sure of it. All right, we're going to create a vehicle. Um, you don't necessarily have to run it locally, but I definitely think it's easiest for development. Um, at one point, I did ask a Foundry dev how they felt about sharing the key for that reason, and they said they were fuzzy. They didn't care as they didn't really care as long as you weren't running it in two places at once. But I don't quote me on that because they may have changed their mind since I spoke with them. Um, I didn't speak with them, but I had an email correspondence about specifically about this getting this added to the site, which was a no-go because the rights for this game are up in the air. All right, so this is gonna be our test vehicle. And let's see, I already forgot the question. The vehicle templates include a gunner station. Yeah, so that's because gunner stations work a little differently. Why is this so? Oh, it's because this is there. Okay. Gunner stations work a little differently. So we're going to go vehicle systems, and we're going to grab laser. Medium laser cannon is a good one to show. Okay. We're going to take the medium laser cannon, drag it onto here. We're going to take that, we're going to drag it to the new gunner spot. And it creates a gunner spot on the fly. Yeah, Kodabool probably. I think that's probably true. Honestly, they probably. I doubt they'd come after you for running an instance to do development like this. Um, I mean, just be honestly. I like Foundry well enough. Just be respectful of their license as much as you. Yeah, just be respectful of their license. They make good stuff. So, um, yeah. So that's how you do that. Um, I probably should like make it when you're dragging it, so yeah, you can drag it back to uninstalled. I should probably make it while you're dragging it to make it like light up or something, so you can see that that's a droppable place. Oh, that looks like a clickable button. That's not good. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's what it suggests that you should be able to do. Oh well, okay. Well, the title text helps, but like, yeah, that shouldn't. Yeah, so we can just look and see why it's saying that. You can look at the CSS right here too. This is another way to figuring out what's. Yeah, unless you hover long enough, you're not going to see it. Which I have put. There's a lot of hints that I've included um, that are helpful if you take the time to do it. But yeah, if you're not looking for it, you're not gonna. I mean, you're not gonna find it. So, all right. So why is it showing the pointer? Looking for a cursor. Yeah. So it's. Oh, it's because all links. Okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be a link. That's why. Okay. All right, so that fixes that. That's the gunner station. Weapon systems not allowed. Um, do you have an example of what weapon system you're trying to add? Because it's very possible that some of them are broken. Like if I do that and I do, yeah, that one works. Let's try to drag it into installed systems. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that slot specifically doesn't allow weapons. Because there's no one to use the weapon. Yeah, so you need so weapons weapons on vehicles need somebody to use them. There's no like automatic ones as far as I know. That might be totally not true. But as far as I know, that's true. So it needs to be added to a gunner position or to the pilot weapons emplacement. So I can just drag this over here and that will work okay. This is for like hyper drives, shield generators, what have you. All right. Add weapons to vehicle. Dev. Okay. Do I get to play much Saga these days? I am trying to get my game started back up again. All of my players, all of their children are now old enough where they're a little more predictable sleep wise. So we're gonna try to get back to playing. Um, empty field. Oh, sorry, that's part. No, I don't want that. Oh, there we go. If you just change the style of the plus new gunner to be like an empty field consistent with the other similar fields, it would make sense. Oh. So it looks like a panel. Okay, yeah, that's a thing I can totally do. Okay. Um, yeah. Well, let's do that. Yeah. So I do have a game that we took a pause on. It was Knights of the Old Republic era. Uh, like supposed to be like a KOTOR 3 kind of thing, and we were having a good time. But yeah, we had life come up as it does. Okay, yeah, let's see if we can change it into that. So we're gonna go here. Let's see. I gotta remember where that is. I have not worked on the weapons for a while. It's going to be in. Okay, so the way this is laid out, module has your JavaScript. SCSS has your SCSS, which is compiled into CSS, and then used on the page. Yeah. So Old Republic is right now my favorite era to run stuff in, just because of the how common Jedi are and how just regular feeling it is to run around with a sword. Although after all of the Jedi that survive Order 66, I guess the Rebellion era has plenty too. What are we at? Like 40 Jedi made it, which is not a lot compared to how many there were, but. All right, so we have in vehicle, it is under. It's not stations. It is. Yeah, and I think I want to run a Clone Wars one, because I think there's a lot of fun stuff to do there. Um, a lot of the post, I'd like to run a Yuuzhan Vong War one at some point, but it does kind of limit you on enemies. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't have time for an extra campaign on top of the one I'm restarting, so it's not going to happen for a while. But yeah, well, there's a lot of different ones I'd like to play. Um, let's see. It is. Is it still on the vehicle? I might not have split it off, so it might just be under cargo. Or is it system? Yeah, it must be systems. That's it. Okay. So this is something that's built into Foundry, this nav bar thing. That is here. Let's grab this. That is this thing on top. That's why it looks like other systems. It's because it's something provided by Foundry. Let's go here. So this is going to link to the correct section. Yeah, I think that would be cool too. Running a covert operations campaign starting a few years before the Clone Wars. I think like right before the Clone Wars is cool too. Um, I just remember being a kid right when uh, episode 1 came out, and just thinking about how just like vast and there's just all this space like that you just don't know what's happening because you were focused on like what 3-4 planets total in that movie, and it just felt so like there's so many possibilities, and it was so cool. All right, yeah. So this is the section. Doot, 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 doot. All right, so this is the working code right here. It is an item container. It has an or a container ID. That's how it knows what container it's being put in. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to change this so that it is a panel. Panel is just a CSS class that gives it that blue circle thing. And then I got to remember what I was doing for. Oh, we're gonna get rid of. this new gunner thing can go away. Yeah, we get rid of that. And then I got to remember what I was doing to make the. I want to make the title look the same. So that is in item list. Nope. Am I in the wrong? Oh, I'm in manual. I don't want to be in manual. I want to be in parts, item list. Some of these need to be moved around. They don't make sense where they are anymore. The style you're looking at on the character sheet, new equipment. Oh, like the title style, yeah. Okay. So this, I am looking for. Oh, here's the label. Is that really the label or? Oh, okay. I want a big label. So it is a label with an H2 around it. That was a weird choice for me to make. Well, that's what I did. So we're gonna stick with it for now. We saw how good total overhauls work for this system. They caused quite a few problems. I mean, overall, the thing's in a better state than it was, but I did cause a lot of bugs by doing that. All right, so that should actually fix our problem. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come back here to our instance. I'm going to hit F5. The other option is actually directly in WebSphere, or not WebSphere, WebStorm. There is a rerun button. That will always reload your code. If you just do the refresh here, sometimes it doesn't, so you have to hit it a second time. It almost always works though after 2. I don't know why that is. Yeah, let's go to test as the vehicle. Systems, new gunner. Oh, that's too big. I don't want that. Let's get rid of the H2 maybe. So actually we can come here, we can go inspect. Oh, no, I'm already there. Oh, wait, that is what I want. Okay. We're going to come here. We're going to, and you can actually just edit this directly to try things out. Well, if it lets me. Okay, maybe it doesn't want me to. Oh, there we go. It is HTML. There we go. So we're just going to remove the H2. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that HTML still has H2 because it needs to stay passive. It's not going to reload, is it? Oh, it hasn't yet. There. Yeah, that is what I want. That's perfect. Okay. Drag out the label. I don't know what drag out the label means. Or does it mean... Oh, so... Oh, you mean like drag it from here? Yeah, you can't like drag stuff here. I can move HTML elements by drag and drop, really? Oh my gosh, I can. Well, I learned something today. Thank you. Alright, so that's what it's going to look like. Why is that... I kind of want it to look more like this, though. Oh, because it has a scroll container in there. Yeah, we can do that. I don't know if I really want to duplicate that specifically, but... It's a div with an ordered list inside. Because I do want a little more space, I think. No, actually, I like that how it is. Let's leave it like that. All right, so I've made a change. One of the things I always try to do is not add too much stuff. Like you want to commit often. You don't want to add a ton of different things that are unrelated in one commit. So I have one change. I am going to commit it. All of this stuff, I still haven't figured out what I want to do about it. Every time you open Foundry, the databases run and they create a whole bunch of files. I don't commit these every time because they aren't necessary. I mean, the old ones are fine and they have all the data, so I don't recommit them. But yeah, every time it's going to do that. And I think I can just do a git ignore, but then I have to make sure I turn it off. So I think the real answer is I have to move the compendiums out of the system and move them into a second, into a module to upload. I think that's going to be my next thing. Let's see. Okay, made new gunner container more obvious. There we go. Do a quick commit and push. 2 warnings. Oh, okay. Cool. And that is how that is done. All right. I think I've answered all the questions that are in the in that section. Um, all right. And you asked over here, does anyone know how to add droid parts to a sheet for an NPC droid? Uh, yeah, we can do that. Did you take an existing one? Is that what? Let's see. Let's grab a droid. Let's see. The A9 series droid. I've never seen this thing before, but I have done so many tests on it because it is the alphabetical first one. Oh, that's no good. I'll have to figure out why it's doing that. So yeah, you could also look at the errors in here. From UUID. Interesting. You are building the droid from scratch. Oh, okay. So you went create droid, or create actor, new actor, droid guy. All right, so we have a droid, or we have a yeah a character. Were you using one of the droid model ones, or were you using one of the ones that I think are broken? Because I think if you're looking at like battle droid, I think these are broken. I haven't updated them in a while, and I've done most of my testing on the droid, the first through. So like a battle droid would be a 4th degree droid. Because there's 2 sets of droid species between books, so which we can go through, and I can work through fixing those right now. Actually, you're using the 4th degree droid race. Okay, we'll try that then. All right. Any particular size you were trying to make? Doesn't really matter that much. Okay, we're gonna do a medium. You're making a large. Well, we can actually go. I don't know. Can I change that now? I don't know if I ever allowed for that. So we're just going to do this. All right. Make sure everything's on here correctly. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, it looks fine. And you were trying to add droid parts. Any particular ones? Is it like an arm or a hand, or is it like a hand or something? Upgrades. I broke all these out into separate things, and now I keep trying to look at the old one. Oh, droid systems. There we go. Okay. All right. So I need a processor equipped. What were you trying to add that wasn't working for you? We'll give it a claw. All droids need a good claw. Yeah. So is there anything in particular that wasn't working for you, or? All right. So I don't know why, because this is not something that goes onto a droid. All right. I might need to make a new section called like droid accessory or something that is something that can't be added to a droid but is helpful. I don't know. I don't know what the best thing to do with this is. All right. It looks like it has no mechanical changes here. uh, Zanjian, does that answer your question? Were you doing something different that wasn't working, or what? Uh, does it seem to work now? So if you're doing it earlier this week, it would not have worked. I don't remember. We can check who checked that in, but somebody noticed that I had that on the ban. It was actually on the ban list. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it was Talon. Yeah, I think it was this one. I think the issue was there is a list of banned things that can't be added to like a character, and it wasn't on the include list that allowed it to be added. So now it is. I still need to play around with that. I've never seen that way of addressing that, so that's okay. So, yeah, so it actually was broken earlier this week. So that's probably why when you saw that. If you are on latest, it should start. It should work now. Okay. Yeah. So the way I usually look when I'm trying to figure out what to work on next, I will select myself as the author. There is no way to say not me, so you just go up here and so there's no like drop down option to say I want things that aren't me. So I just do that, add a minus, and it'll give me everything that other people have sent in. Usually, and I'm looking for bugs, so I'm going to go label bug. Um, oh boy, I have more than I thought I did. Okay. This one is purely aesthetic, so I'm not going to work on that right now. Uh, oh boy, I don't think this is applicable anymore. This is from an old version of the compendium. Okay. Oh, there was that error that popped up. I want to double check to make sure. Yeah, so this thing does appear here, and it looks like it's got some issues. Why is that? It's not the train stuff isn't moving over correctly. Why is the train stuff not? Wow, there's some things that are messed up on this sheet. That's gonna take a bit. Okay. So there should be checkboxes. Uh, okay. Oh, they did, huh? They all had 10 still. Okay. Um, do you have an example? Like, which one were you looking at that had 10? Because all of the ones I have spot checked were correct. Oh, no, look, found one. Okay, there we go. Imperial, well, Agricore Worker also is broken, so we're going to look at this one first and see why it's doing that. So I have a module, and you can see this little happy glowing wizard right there, and I'm not totally sure what the name is, so I'm going to double check that. It's just called developer mode, and that gives you a bunch of nice little buttons. Yeah, so is Imperial Officer even in this one? Yeah, if you know what version that is, then I can look at it. But or what challenge level rather. Uh, let's look at the Aqualish. See, this one's working. Okay. This one's not. Okay, so what that does though, that module, the developer mode module, it gives you this button, and all this does is it prints that actor to the console. Okay, I can take a look at that one specifically then, since that is what you saw was not working. Oh, there we go. That is, oh, yep, definitely broken. So we're going to tell it to print a console, and since I am using the debugger, I can come in here, and it shows up right here. Can I make this larger? No, it will not let me do that. Okay. I know there's probably a presentation mode. It probably doesn't work with this window though, so. Okay. Let's see. In system, we're going to look at. Where am I? Wait a minute. There should be an attributes. Changes size. Oh, attributes right here. Okay. Annual total is 10. Okay, why is it doing that? So it's displaying correctly from the data that's there. I'm assuming that that is not correct, but I am going to look up what is correct. Was it veteran? There we go. Okay. Is there anything weird about this? No. This looks fine. So one thing is sometimes there's bad formatting on the web, and that will cause a problem. So the other thing I need to check. So I'm going to pull this up. Let me grab the actual. So I cache all of the files as. So what I'm doing this, I download the page. Oh, sorry, I was reading something. I actually download the page to my computer because it's faster than downloading each time I want to generate this stuff. So I have a local copy. It's very possible I have a bad local copy, and that is why. Let's see. Imperial officer. Okay. And this is going to be all screwed up because it does not have CSS. Is this even usable for me? Yeah. All right. So the downloaded copy I have does have the correct stuff. Let's see. So after I look at that, I'm going to go here. I'm going to open. This is IntelliJ, so I'm looking at the screen scraper again. And I'm going to take a look at units. Unit exporter is how that is exported. And we're just going to. So there's a lot of stuff in here. One of the things that I added to be able to do is you can filter by challenge level. So I'm just gonna put 9 in there. If you leave it empty, it does all of them. So right now I just want to do that. And I could do a name filter. I think this still works. Does it? Oh, this is actually just going to this limits generation. It does not limit which ones are actually read, which is because there's no way of knowing until you parse it which challenge level it is. So, okay. Get entries from page. That's not what I want. All right. So each of these exporters, the parse item method is where an individual item is parsed. So I'm going to go here and let's see. I need the item name. So here we go. If item name doesn't equal, and this was what I was testing on before, was the Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Spirit, which is a crazy sheet because, believe it or not, it doesn't, on the web at least, it does not include the affiliation Jedi, and so he can't be a Jedi Knight or Jedi Master, so I actually had to remove specifically affiliations as like a necessary prerequisite because it was breaking a ton of sheets. So we're going to do that. That's spelled, yeah. And if it's not that, it's going to return. And we're just going to do a little breakpoint there. And we're going to, oh, yeah, we're going to debug this. And yeah, no, this is a pretty, I mean, it's not an awful design. It's not great though. This is very much a, I figured out how to get it to work one time, and then I kind of just kept going, and I haven't gone back and fixed it. I would like to build a better version of this at some point, but ideally, actually, I'd like to do it directly in JavaScript so that it can run in a Foundry instance and directly upload it. That would be preferable to what's currently happening. Okay, it's thinking about it. I think this is because I have both WebStorm and IntelliJ open, and I also am streaming with OBS, so that probably isn't helping. Okay, we're on the veteran Imperial Officer. We're going to go down to where the abilities, I think it's ability scores. Oh, actually, you know what? That might be it. I bet I know what it is. Abilities. Let's look at a different one. I bet it's using a different it's the A9 one works. I know that one's correct. There we go. Wait, what? No, okay. I bet. Oh, no, I was wrong. I thought this was going to be different. Abilities, and this is also yeah, no, I found a lot of spelling issues where there like one will be ability instead, and that does break the parser. So this does look correct though. So we're gonna go back to debugging. Event starts with, we're looking for the one that says abilities. Okay, run until that point. Oh, of course, it's because it runs every token through that. Okay. You watch text. It'll show up on top so we can run through it until we find it. So now what I'm doing is I'm just running until we hit the breakpoint again. We're in a loop, so we're going to come back around. Initiative 5, defenses, reflex defense. Oh, that's interesting. It was on a separate line. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but it might be a problem. Offense, speed, melee, ranged, attack options, special actions, base stats, abilities. So it does say it's true. All right, so now it's going to run through each of these. Should be okay. Let's get down to here and make sure those are being saved correctly. All right. So on the current unit, let's go down here to current. There should be 6 attributes. There are. It is marked as 10 though. Oh no, 10, 8, 10, 14, 13, 14. I don't know if that's correct, but that's probably right. Yeah, that's okay. So that is correct. It's manual total. Wonder what's different. Okay. I don't know. Well, let's try making sure that it's actually printed out correctly to the export folder. Oh. Oh, it has to run through the rest of the stuff. Okay. All right. So, are there any other questions? I don't think I saw any come up in chat. But go ahead and type them again if I missed anything. Oh, this thing is taking forever. Yeah, one thing I would like to be able to do with this is limit how much I'm running, because with units it's running through 2,500 pages. Um, in this case, it is not doing all the processing, but it's still doing quite a lot. So I do want to go and fix that. Oh, there we go. Well, okay, it's 20. There we go. Character sheet defense is not adding level bonus. Yeah, I have not gotten to that one yet. It has been a long week. We can get to that though tonight. Yeah, it is only 9 o'clock. I got 2 more hours where I am not supposed to do anything else around the house. Okay, so that is processed. So now we can go to in here, and we can. Oh, is it in the latest fixes? I can't even remember what I fixed sometimes. All right, so we're going to look at the raw export. There we go. And we're going to tell it to format, because I don't like reading it like that. All right. Galactic Empire, the Fell Empire, non-heroic is its first class. Let's see. Yeah, so that is showing up as manual. Wait, why is it manual? It should be manual total, I think. Right? Also, probably doesn't need to print the key in there. The manifest link isn't updating the latest patch. Oh. Yeah, we can fix that. So that is one other thing I would like to actually get working is a more automated development. So 7.10. So that means that I am on the main branch. This should say 7.10. It does. That is latest. 7.10 is latest. Are you on the unstable branch? 'Cause I don't know what that's pointing at actually. There's a couple of different manifests you can select, and some of them may not be pointing to 7.10. Zanjian, uh, are you able to confirm you're on 7.10? Did you think there was another one after that? Okay. I'm going to go back to. No, I don't want to go here. I want to go here. Okay, so this seems correct. Okay, yeah, you should have the fixes then. There might be a separate bug for whatever you're running into. Um, yeah, so unstable is going to be stuff that I'm not convinced is actually 100% working. Right now, I think both of them are pointing to 7.10, so they should be the same. Mostly because I'm doing quick bug fixes. If I'm doing like new features, I'm going to put them on unstable first. I have this fly that keeps flying directly in my face. Yeah, if I'm doing like adding large features, I'm going to put those on unstable first to let some people try it out. Whoever would like to, and then people get back to me and say, yeah, that works fine, and then I move it to stable. or to main. Um, if you don't want to deal with that, yeah, just stay on the main branch one. Okay, so one thing here is I don't need to print these. So let's figure out why it's doing that. But also, is this actually the correct thing? I don't think it is. So if I looked at this at this earlier that I printed out, manual total is the actual number. Um, why is it doing that? I don't know. Are these in the right spot? Their attributes. That looks fine. Okay, let's look at the generator. It's weird that some of them are working and some are not. They should all either be broken or should all be working. Unit. Attributes. Cat attributes. For each attribute, we're going to do an attribute.toJSON. Okay, what is the toJSON doing? Okay, this is actually putting. Okay. Am I reusing this from somewhere else? That's a good question. Okay, these should, yeah, this should be about the same as a change, but an attribute is different. So we're actually just going to go like that. We don't need the toString, or we don't need the JSON for that. And getting the key, yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, so Rock Zombie, if that is, if you can think of a way to make that more clear, I'm all ears. Yeah, most of the stuff I put up because it makes sense to me. But if it doesn't make sense to everybody else because they're not in my brain, then that totally makes sense, and I'd like to know. Okay, so I'm not going to print that anymore because it's not useful. Attribute objects. That should be fine. That should be manual total though. I don't know why. I thought I made set it to that because it should come out over here like that. Yeah. Yeah, during one, I don't know if it was the last stream or the stream before, I asked my wife for a beer, and she came down and brought it to me. Well, tonight she said, "Well, I'm going to bed as soon as the baby's asleep, so you're not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to bring you a beer if you need one." And I said, "Okay." So I got a nice little bowl filled with ice, just with a couple just in case. I've thought about getting a little mini fridge down here, but I thought that would be dangerous. It probably would. Alright, so that should print out correctly. Let's give that a shot. Actually, I'm going to update this so I don't have to run through everything. Let's see. I'm not really sure how to do it because I would have to know the name of the file being uploaded, I think. Let's see. Unit exporter. Alright, so the way I'm doing the screen scraping, and these are all pretty similar across all things or all the things. I am grabbing directly from the web. I'm grabbing the category pages. So if you look at, yeah, let's go here. Categories, non-heroic units. It grabs all of these links and that's what it downloads. So the problem is not everything shows up correctly between both. Most do. Most are very good. But I've when you're running code on all of these links, you do find a couple that where there's a mistype somewhere and things just don't appear correctly. Actually, like I'm not sure I've seen these actually get generated yet. Maybe they have. Yeah, so I grab all of these, which then it opens all of these and then downloads all of these if they haven't been downloaded recently. So the other thing is, right now I have like it's not a cache if it's permanent, but I have essentially a permanent cache. It downloads them and they sit there. To refresh the cache, I have to manually go delete it, which is not the best thing. But these have been uh, updated within like the last 2 months, so I'm not super worried about it. Um, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm always amazed what things I find stats for in this game because I haven't gone through and read all of them. Okay, I lost track of what I was doing. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what it does. It grabs. So this is a list of. It adds. So the other problem with those pages is, since there are so many things, it only shows like the first so many. So I split it out by letter. So this actually just generates a bunch of link strings that are in alphabetical order. It just adds the letter at the end there. Actually, I'm wondering if I'm not getting the numerical ones now. I don't think I am. I bet I am not getting. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting any of these. So like, is the 3PO series protocol droid in there? Is a good question. I'm gonna check that real quick. So I think the answer is no, because it would have shown up in CL0. Ah, yeah. So I'm missing the numerical ones. I'm going to add that to here. Numerical? Yeah, numerical. That's a word. Um, no, that's all. Other? Is it other? No. Oh, fun. So it doesn't actually show up as a. There's no. Oh, okay. Now I got to figure out how to programmatically get those without having to manually do a bunch of stuff. Okay. I guess I can manually add those. Uh, or just also add this string, and it does go through and it gets rid of duplicates, so I'm not worried about that. No, this one. Non-heroic units. We're just gonna add. Yeah, so that gets us all of the essentially menu pages that we're going to look at. I also got to check to see if this is in there. All right, what other questions do you guys have? That's what this is primarily for. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I'm missing a couple from here too. I'm missing what? Oh, it's because it's got a. Okay, that's funny. All right, so we're also going to just add that directly. Actually, I don't. It doesn't have a way to click that, but I wonder if I could do one. Oh yeah, it doesn't work. Also, it gets rid of that that one weird one. Okay, we're just gonna add that then. Wait. Okay. So that's gonna do that. Okay, so that's going to add that last couple ones I was missing. Um, let's see. Okay, I'm doing the heroic ones too. For a second, I'm like, wait, did I never export those heroic units? No, I totally did. Cool. All right. So one thing this does, I have to make sure this is doing. Well, I guess I. Oh, okay. So this is going to point out the duplicates. I haven't looked at this code in like 6 to 8 months, so bear with me for a second. I follow a couple of programming streamers on YouTube, and one of my favorites, the Primogen. I think he's a Netflix employee. Oh, he says, remember, he one time said, I'm not going to hold him to this. Your code is crap. And you remember that, because next time you look at your code, you'd be like, "That is awful." And that is a vague paraphrase. I don't remember exactly what he said. Okay, so that's doing that. New entities, parse. Okay. That looks good. Alright, so then to figure out why it is not transferring those correctly. Let's go ahead and run this one more time. This is going to download some stuff, so it's going to take a little bit longer, but yeah, the first, if I didn't cache everything on my side, this takes like, yeah, one time it took like 20 minutes total to run. In this case, yeah, like you can see, it runs very quickly. It just, the network traffic takes forever sometimes. Okay, so we're going to go back here. This looks like it got regenerated because it needs to be formatted again. And there we go. That is what it should look like. Alright, so now if I go ahead and go to here, we can show what, now I can show it actually working. The upload process, I mean. Oh, that's pretty bad. Oh, that's, what are those? Oh, that's not important right now. That is stuff that is technically broken, but is actually totally fine. Okay, so we're going to run the generate compendiums thing. Oh, I forgot I was going to do that one. Okay. So now you'll see, yeah, so there's this new, like, world one, and it's only going to have the thing I just imported. And it is wrong. Cool. Okay, so at least it's consistent, which makes me happy. Let's see. It is manual. That is correct. Okay, so now we got to have to walk through the generation process. Let's see. All right, so that is done in modules common. Nope, not common. Compendium generation. And actually, what I'm going to do to make this easier is I'm going to write a test for this specifically. Yeah. So yeah, there is the testing framework I added is not great, but it does its job. I would like to tie it into a proper testing testing system that has more bells and whistles. This is very, very rudimentary. All right. So then you can tell it what file to look in and what you're looking for. We're looking for the veteran imperial officer, and that will process. And I do need to make sure that this is added. So right now, to avoid running each test, because I have quite a few at this point, I comment them out when I'm not using them. Which, again, lazy programmer stuff. Don't do that. Okay, and now we want to end that. We want to start it up with test. And remember, all this does is adds that little tag URL. It just adds URL parameter, the URL parameter test. We're just gonna run that. Oh, right, because it actually has to log in. And I gotta close this out. There we go. It doesn't need to be game master. Well, it needs to be it needs to have game master level privs to run some of the stuff. So, and it will cause problems otherwise. Okay. So that should have run. So we're going to go here. And of course, I think I hit run and not debug, so it's not going to print it. There you go. Oh, I didn't want to close that. Oh, well. All right, so it does look like it is, in fact, coming through with 10. Yeah, my assert methods are not great. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make this actually ask for the right stuff. We are expecting its name to be this. Let's see, what's its health at? Its health is 50. And these are just there's a couple of different health values. So like the current value of your health and the max value of your health, those are what's expected. But there's also override, and that's because I'm using manual health so that I don't have to figure it out, and it is automatically setting max health from the override health, so they should be the same. That's why I'm checking that. And then I closed my browser window that had it in there. Yeah, let's close that. Close, 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 close. Okay. And this one we are going to go SWSE. Was it Veteran Imperial Officer? There we go. Veteran Imperial Officer 10, 8, 10, 14, 13, 14. All right. So after running, it should set the total to be the manual total that's in there. Yeah. So we're going to want to look at, I'm going to rerun this real quick and make sure that's true. Oh, and this is just making sure that there's no warnings on it. I think that is going to fail because I think there's a bunch of stuff, yeah. And that's fine. So rerun. And that is it doing some generation stuff. Yeah, and it's still not. Okay, it does have fewer things down here though, so that's good. Okay. So let's go through and figure out what is happening in here. So we're going to stop. We're going to have it debug to there. Okay. So you can look at the actor data that is actually pulled in. And let's see. Attributes. Those look like the right values. So why is it having a problem? All right. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to take a quick check for questions. I don't see any in the Discord. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I'm just going to keep going. Or, if you have any, and they don't have to be related specifically to the Foundry work. It could be about games. It could be about, yeah, just pretty much whatever you want. Manual total versus total. Yeah, good question. So, because of how not everyone wants to use the very automated part of the sheet, so I made it so that you can switch to doing manual stuff. So if you stay on like the automatic, so it will automatically generate from if you're using there's a point buy one, so you get to like go to a menu and do point buy, and then your species will add stuff, your class won't add stuff. Yeah, it's your species. I think maybe a feat or something will add something. If you're on manual, none of that automatic stuff happens. You have to click on the box and change the number. Now, because of how the web sheet stat block is, I don't know where all those bonuses are coming from, and all I have are the final numbers. So if I wanted to use anything but a manual sheet, I would have to essentially backward, like like take the final numbers and then subtract whatever I ended up having extra, and that seemed like something I could easily do. I could do, but it seemed like extra work that I didn't have to do. If I just used manual, it would just override it. So, does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. So here, everything is correct. So we're going to go into process actor. Let's see. So we're going to create the actor data. Let's start there and see what it does. Actors. So this is a built-in method that's built. It's completely built into Foundry, and it comes with the built-in actor. And since my SWSE actor extends that, it inherits it. So we're going to look here. Let's see. System attributes. Is it working yet? Manual total still appears to be correct. Is the problem that there's strings and it's going to get weird on me? All right. Let's see. Provided items. Oh, we just deleted that. Good. Let's go into the prepared data. Still not adding character level. Yes, it sounds like it's definitely still broken then. I need to take a look at it. Let me finish with this, and I will start looking at that next. What you can do is right-click on the total of each one, and you can manually override it. And that's just because sometimes when you're making an NPC, you don't care too much about the rules. And believe me, there's a lot of those in this game that like NPCs that don't care about the rules. So I made sure that that was available. Okay. Skip repairs undefined, so we're going to keep going. Okay, so now I want to go and look at the method specifically around doing this. Yeah, this one. Okay. It's still there. Okay. So at some point they get deleted. Manual, okay. Wait, it is manual right here. Oh, I think I have some inconsistent variable name. Okay. Hmm. Um, is that Guillermo or is that a different name that I'm not reading correctly? Does that work? Are you able to use the override? Okay, so I think what the problem might be. So this, oh, where am I? Oh, there we go. I think this might have been more correct than I thought it was. I think this should just say manual because that is what is being checked. However, this is a string. Yes, that works. Okay, good. All right, so this is a string. I think I need to set. Why is it being set as a string? Create. Oh, it is being parsed as a string. It really shouldn't be. Let's force that to be an int. Yeah, I love this. This is relatively new feature of IntelliJ. It tells you when you break stuff, how many places you broke it in. And I love that because you can click on it and it'll take you there. It is a fun feature. And yeah, this should just be it. JavaScript is very kind with types, so even if you try to compare a string of a number to a number, it usually works. Or it does work. Well, yeah, it works. But I just don't, I'd rather just clean up my data a little bit, make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. Let's go back to here. Related problems. Okay. All right. So we're going to rerun this, and then we're going to try that again. Yeah, so we're still going to look at those defenses, but yeah, I'm glad that worked. Okay. Let's double check to make sure that updated the way I wanted to. Updated, reformat code. Okay. These are no longer strings. They are called manual. Okay. We are going to go back here. Oh, I see. I need to go here. I'm going to retry. Okay. System. We'll make sure it's all there correctly. There's no manual override for heroic level, so you're not getting the bonus damage to attacks. Oh, I see. Um. Okay, yeah, we can look into that too. We got time. Okay. Just if I forget one of them, remind me what it is. Okay, so manual total. Why is manual total still showing up? Oh, I think I know what's going on. Okay, so there is a built-in. So templates are important. It tells you what things are automatically saved, what things are part of the data structure. Ah, here it is. Manual is not part of that data structure, so it wasn't being saved. Do I need to keep the old one? I might need to. I don't know if I can just remove it. Well, hey, if it breaks for me, it breaks for me. If it breaks for me, then I will undo that and make sure it actually shows up. Okay. Oh, that part does not refresh, though. I just remembered. Okay. We gotta close that. Stop this. Restart Foundry. That covers everything up on that screen. Okay, and then we need to do. There. Oh, it's thinking about it. What's it stuck on? Oh, it has to log in. Huh. Okay, here we go. System, attributes, and that did not fix the problem, did it? It did not. Hmm. Okay. Wait, why is it doing that first? Oh, it should not be doing that first. Process actor. There we go. That's what I want. Actor data. Let's double check, make sure it's still here. Okay, that's exactly what I want to see. Attribute handler. Let's put that in. Make sure it's still made it this far. It didn't break somewhere. It does look like it broke. Uh, oh, but it hasn't finished generating. Why is it generating attributes so early? Generate attributes, prepare character data. Okay. Oh, it did a safe initialize. Safe prepare data. Data model. Oh, okay. So this is just like by default, it automatically runs that. Okay. Um, process actor. Okay. At this point, is that data correct? That data looks very wrong. Manual, and these are manual total for some reason, anyways. Oh, wait, manual's correct here. Wait, was strength 10? I think strength might have been 10. That might be right. Yeah, strength is 10. Okay, so that one actually is right. Okay. Okay, let's move along until we get to the here. And so what's very strange is strength was 10, and so but manual total doesn't show up here at all. Why is manual total showing up here? It's like it's being saved for some reason. Um. Oh. It's because it's for each individual thing. Okay. How did this happen? We're smarter than this. There we go. Okay. Let's close this out. And we're going to stop that. Okay. And debug. Oh, I don't want to run through all those. Why did you do that? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Apparently, when I tell it to continue debugging, it did not keep that URL um, parameter in there. Okay. And there we go. And this should be right now. System attributes manual looks correct here. Okay, and it's doing some caching. Okay, that looks fine. Wait, what's your problem? Oh, I bet it's because it's a string and not a... Yeah, I bet that's exactly what it is. Okay, so back in generation, we're going to go back to our test. All these other tests are going to fail next time I try to run them now. There we go. If I go 10, it'll be fine. Because all these used to be saved as strings instead. Why did I do that? I didn't want that. Okay. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. There we go. Yep, it was because they were numbers, not strings. Actually, I probably could fix these so that they aren't there. Yeah, no, that's fine. Can I tell it not to bother me with that? Probably not. Nope. Okay, it's just going to show up yellow. Okay. So that looks like it's fine now. Okay, let's try to do a full import and then see if it comes in correctly. I'm not going to try to import all of them now because it takes a long time to do. But fixing this is a good place to start. Oh, right, if I run this with tests, sometimes the scroll bar doesn't work for some reason, and I have no idea why. That is the weirdest bug I have found in Foundry. If you put any URL parameters, it breaks the scroll bar. I don't know why that is. It is the weirdest thing. All right, there we go. Okay, yeah, there's apparently some weird issues with trying to put in strings. I don't know why it was working sometimes though. That is the weirdest thing. Okay, so we are going to save that change to the importer. Where is it? There it is. That needs to be saved. I haven't seen any errors from removing that. I don't think it's going to break anything. If it does, I will roll it back immediately. Fix issue where attributes were occasionally being imported wrong. There we go. Oh, okay. It very well could be that I never actually ran a release with those new changes. Well, now I feel silly. I thought I did for some reason. Let's do that real quick. We can walk through how that process works. It is an awful process. I haven't spent any time trying to automate any of this. Essentially, what I do is I come in here, I go to System, I edit it to the next version. This is something I want to automate, but it's like I've got all these bugs that I want to fix first, and I just haven't bothered to go back and fix it. And this system is currently working, so it's like, well, technically working, why fix it? Not a good reason. All right, so we have that. We go back to code. We go to tags, releases, draft new release, and we go 0.7 7.11. Create the tag. Generate release notes. And yeah, oh, there we go. And I have to make sure I can find your guys' Discord thing. You guys are going to get a new contributor. It's not a badge, but it's a role. You're going to get a contributor role. I just have to remember to do it. Maybe sometime this weekend. Tomorrow is absolutely out. I am on full-on baby duty all day. All right. So after we got that, we're going to publish. And there we go. So now if you guys update to 7.11, those fixes should be in there. I thought I had already released them, but I did not. First version released on live stream. There we go. No, I always complain at work because we don't have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we just haven't automated when we should have. And this environment that I'm working in is it's far simpler because it's on one computer, but it's also far worse because I have way fewer things automated than even my workplace. All right. Okay. I'm also gonna put in here real quick. Let's do the one that I actually know is. Oh, is this name? Talon Ketupa is the same as Ketupa, I take it. And I might not be able to tag both of you who contributed because I don't think Vertigoogle is in the Discord. No. All right, we're just gonna do a roll when we figure it out. The check for update button in Foundry worked. Yeah, it does actually work when I tag things correctly. I have done multiple releases where I forgot to tag, or like I forgot to increase that in the system, and that's entirely my fault. I just need to do it correctly. What I need to do is just write a quick release script. They aren't hard to do. It's just running a couple of git commands and a find and replace. Although I guess actually the find and replace will be hard because it's a variable find, but whatever. Wait, no, it's not. It's a JSON file. I can just go to the correct spot. It's not a big deal. Anyways, cool. Okay, what was the thing that we were fixing now? The manual override for the level bonuses is no. So does is the heroic level showing up correctly now? Let's see. Let's grab a. Oh, also every time you run a test where you don't finish the test and let delete, it will leave this in here, which is a little annoying, but not that big of a deal. So is it supposed to be Guillermo or Guillermo? Defenses are fixed. Fantastic. And yeah, okay, that one is correct. Do I have one with is the cultist priest? Okay, he does have some levels there. Level armor. Yeah, that doesn't look right though. Unless he's a level 10 force adept, which I suppose is totally possible. 2, 3, 6, 7. Oh, okay. Well, he has. I was thinking this for some reason. I read this as non-heroic, which means this should not give an armor bonus, but it's noble. Every time I read those, I get it wrong. I actually found a couple of pages on the wiki that had switched them, so there were some characters who should have been non-heroic that were Yeah, should have been non-heroic, but were nobles. There's a droid that was technically a noble on that page, so I had to go tweak it because it was giving me bad data. Okay. Oh, this is this dark side score thing. I made this a long time ago, and I hate it now. I think it looks awful with with the direction that the sheet has gone. It was supposed to kind of look like the old sheet, and it does not look good on here. The red just looks awful, but that's not important right now. It is functional. It is not broken. I need to work on things that are actually broken. Guillermo is fine. Yeah, or is it Guillermo? You put a capital in there. I don't know how to pronounce it now. All right. So we had two issues we were talking about fixing, but defenses do work. And does the heroic level bonus work on attacks? Let's see. Should be 10. It is not. The base attack bonus is here. Attribute modifiers here. And damage is really screwed up somehow. That's a different problem entirely. All right. You're supposed to get a bonus to hit just from level? I thought it was base attack bonus. Or is it bonus damage? I'm gonna have to look this up. Weapon damage plus 1/2 heroic level rounded down plus strength modifier. Um. Oh, okay. It is in there. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you. If I had just waited for your comment, I would have. Okay. So there is still a problem apparently with unarmed attacks not getting their die. So I wonder why that is. Project, and that is in actor. Is it under attack or was there a there unarmed attack? Name unarmed attack. Okay. This is another system that I worked on a very long time ago, and I do not quite remember how it works. Is it returning the item? If unarmed attack equals this.item ID, create a new unarmed attack object with that actor ID. Okay, so it is the item. Okay, I don't know what that does either. All right, so what we want is the damage roll. Damage roll. Okay. I am to type beast. That's not it. Okay. I don't think this is ever completed correctly. It looks like there's merging of two different systems I remember writing, but they don't look like either of them is finished. So that's really weird. Okay, how do we know if it's unarmed? This dot item will have unarmed modifier or unarmed bonus damage. No, that is if it is an object that grants that bonus. That's not how that works. Okay. Um, yeah, so we'll know it's unarmed if the item is an unarmed item. I don't know why this is doing this. Item data that is unarmed. Or. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know what this is doing. There's a couple of gloves, like power gloves or something. Shock boxing gloves. I bet this is to handle those. Uh, yeah, it's looking for that tag. Okay, cool. Man, when you come back to code you haven't worked on in like a year. This is like a year and a half ago I worked on this. It is so hard to remember what's going on. Okay, so is unarmed in unarmed attack returns true, so that should be fine. I do need to figure out the why. Okay, no, I don't want that. Oh, it's because this. Sometimes the IDE is not as smart as it should be. Okay. Unarmed damage die. Okay. If the actor is a droid. I wonder why I'm doing it that way and not just saying is droid. Unarmed damage. Um, hold on. I don't think that they're all getting this attribute. Well, we can check. Here, it's in common attribute. Nope, that was wrong. Change key. Unarmed damage. Okay. Unarmed damage is being set. Oh, they should all have it based on their size, right? Okay. Something's wrong with the size system then. The size system started off very simple, and then I started trying to handle squads. So originally it was very easy because everything is pretty straightforward on what its size is. Even droids, you just pick it at the beginning, it's fine. And then you have squads, which is a template that increases the size by one. And suddenly it got really complicated. So that's probably what is being broken here. Okay. I am going to walk through this a little bit, make sure that my hunch is correct, though. We're going to go here, and these are generated. I think, yeah, right here. I think they're generated on when you open the thing, so it's fine. It's not a droid, and its damage die is undefined. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that again, and then we'll delve in a little bit. Okay. Go step in. One thing I do want to check before we do that. Data, entity. Everything is an item, which makes things easier and harder at the same time. very possible. I just don't have a size on here. In which case it probably should just default to medium, but oh, it's right here. Okay. See if it's actually resolving that. All right, how's everybody in chat doing? Are you guys excited watching me try to debug this? I won't say that watching live programming is the most exciting thing. So if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to talk about, feel free to just okay. What is that little icon of? Oh, it's a little smiley face, but okay. I have no idea what the little ears look like. Okay. So then I'm going to try to figure out. Oh wait, what am I on? I am on unarmed attack. Does this actually work, or is this going to freak out? Hold on. Get damage roll. Get inheritable. Oh. Get unarmed bonus damage. Wait, why am I didn't want to do this part. Not gonna lie, coding just looks like the Matrix text effect to me. You know, it's a lot simpler than it looks. It really is one of those things I think anyone can learn to do at least proficiently. The only reason it's probably more complicated is because I'm zipping around between different functions and checking different things. Um, wait, why did I don't know why it's okay. I don't care about that yet. It's running it at a weird spot. And I don't really want to look at it. So the one thing about this is it is running. This is a multi-threaded environment, so sometimes when I put a breakpoint, it's catching something else running through that code instead of what I'm actually trying to run through, um, which can make it a little more difficult. Okay, so we're back up here. We're gonna go here, actor. Okay, so we are going through the actor. We're not going through. For some reason I thought we were just going through the item that had nothing on it. Unarmed attacks don't have the same build out that everything else does. Get changes from document. I kind of want to make it so that the unarmed attack figures that out. Setting up for your so how is Dawn of Defiance? I didn't play through that. The game I'm running now is the first game I've run in the system. Um, because I every time I've tried to do an adventure path in the past for like Pathfinder or D&D, I just invariably just start adding on my own stuff because I just like doing that. So I just don't bother anymore with adventure paths. But like how is it a good story at least? Because I might pull some of that in or just run that eventually if it's half decent. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay, so it did get a bunch of values. My first time with Saga from the previous version. Oh, do you mean did you play the story's fantastic? Okay, good. Um, for the previous version, do you mean did you play uh there was the version before Saga, like the revised? I did look at that. Revised third edition. Okay. I did look at that when I was trying to figure out what version to play because I was looking for a Star Wars game. I did buy. I think I do have the Fantasy Flight Age of Rebellion game. Um, but I had a bunch of new. Well, they weren't new players. They were less than experienced players, and they all had played Pathfinder with me before. A game I ran, and they were not. They don't like reading the rules. They prefer that they say, "I want to do this," and I tell them how to do it, which is fine. Usually know the rules well enough. So I didn't really want to change to a brand new system where I didn't know all the rules very well, and that's why I ended up picking Saga. Um, all right, let's see. Um, I so usually I don't. That is so that is true, and they did read through those at least. To at least to an extent. I do have a Mandalorian player who, anytime anything happens, just goes, "So like knowledge tactics, does that work now?" And it's like, no, to go read the go read the description of knowledge tactics. It can be very useful, but yeah, my players read the character sheets alone, but nothing else. Yeah, that's kind of how mine are too. And uh, unfortunately and or fortunately, because I think players who don't want to know the rules as much are also very fun in a different way. They're very good at just kind of winging it and doing whatever because they're not bound. They aren't like trying to figure out how to do things that the rule lets them do. Instead, they're trying to figure out what they would do if they were there, which I think is fun. But yeah, I do have to agree with Talon a little bit. Knowing what the skills are doing is pretty nice because at least you know like what your character is going to be good at. Um, at the same time, I all of my players who don't read the rules very much, they still have a really good time and they still do a lot of really fun stuff. I built an entire dungeon out of a Jawa sand crawler. Like I found somebody had made a map, like a multi-tiered map of one, and I went through in Foundry and I made so you could teleport up and down the stairs between the different areas, and I populated it with some because they were still owned by Zerka at the time. That was the story, and they were digging up. They sent them to Dantooine and they were digging up kyber crystals. Well, they wanted to stop it because, and the whole thing was the vibrations were pissing off the Kinrath, and the Kinrath were coming and messing with the locals. So I had this whole dungeon figured out, all of this stuff, and my Mandalorian character. So they crawled up a hill to like peek over and see it. Mandalorian character says, "Well, how far is it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's like 100 meters." He goes, "My jetpack can make that." The guy jetpacked all the way over to the top, opened the top hatch, threw some stun grenades in, and he tied up all of the command crew in about 5 minutes. And I feel like some players that knew what all the skills did and were like trying to play by the rules of the game, probably might not have thought of that. It's just such an out there solution to the problem. Um, I thought it was very funny. I let him do it, and I was not upset that I had spent 3 hours on that dungeon because just thought it was such a great story moment. All right, I was looking for size. I don't remember what I was looking for. It is. It doesn't matter how much time you spend preparing; they're always going to do something you don't expect. I think that is a pretty great part of it. All right, I am going to take a quick bathroom break. I've been sitting here for 2 hours, and I am on my second beer, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I got it. I have to. I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Oh boy, yeah. So this week, so I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate when I have time. So not a lot actually. I know most people have beaten it multiple times through. I've gotten I don't know maybe 10 hours in total, and I bought it the second week after it came out or something. Um, this week though, I was missing Knights of the Republic pretty hardcore, and I went back and I started playing two again. The worst thing about that game for me right now is it makes me want to work on this, and working on this makes me want to play that game. So I get in a weird loop. Um, okay, I'm trying to remember what I was looking for. It was the damage die, unarmed damage, 2d8, and that one has apparent prerequisite of size. Wait, are all of these are the are these not being resolved based on size? They should be. So wait, are they filtering? Okay. It's getting all of them. That's no good. Hmm. All right. So what this is supposed to do is this is supposed to get the all of the changes that are on a document, and a document can be an actor or an item. The problem is if you're doing embed, so an actor has items on it. Uh, so an actor can have actor has changes, items have changes, actors can have items. Both actors and items can have active effects, and active effects can also have changes. So it's a whole hierarchy of this. Uh, so what it's supposed to be doing is it's supposed to only be getting when it gets to here, it checks to see if there's embedded documents or embedded items. Those embedded items only exist if it is. So right here it says if it's actually what I should do is just do. This will be simpler. So right now, if it's a an item or an active effect, it returns nothing because there's no items on items and there's no items on active effects. I'm actually going to do switch this to actor just to simplify it a little bit. And if it's not this, yeah. So Guillermo, if you think this is still looking like I'm gonna walk through a little bit. So if it's still looking like matrix code, let me know. Yeah. So if it is not an instance of a SWSE actor, it's going to return. That's cool. Okay. So now I have to get the embedded items that are applicable because there can be items on an actor that should not apply. So traits are one of those things that are resolved at the end, um, and that's because the way I made the thing is if something changes on the actor and which changes the uh, from the prerequisites of one to another, it should disable one and enable the other. Is the idea. Um, so like bonuses, like species bonuses to a gender, for instance, or well, technically a sex, but that's not important right now. uh, yeah, so if you have a bonus to a specific sex of a species, and you haven't selected one yet, it shouldn't like not include either of them. It should include both, and then when you have one of them on your sheet, then it enables it, right? And then if you went, well, actually, I want to be the other one, and you change it, it should switch. So essentially, I made traits work the opposite of most of the other items, which are only added when you do the initial adding. For some reason, it is not filtering out items that have that. Uh, Let's see. Okay. What I'm going to need to do is go back and restart the debug. I don't want that. Okay. Okay, cool. Got that. Let's close this out, reopen it, and hits the breakpoint again. And then we want to go down to in embedded items, we go to get inheritable items. That's weird. I named that funny. That's okay. I'll fix that later. All right, we do hit it. Entity, unarmed attack. What? Changes from embedded items. How did it get there? What? um, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, it's passing an unarmed attack down. Is it looking like the Matrix to you too now? A little bit. Um, what the problem is right here. I'm saying if it's oh wait, actually no, this does make sense. So I changed this and didn't reload yet. What it was saying before is if it is an item or an active effect, get out of here. We're not doing this. The thing is, unarmed attacks aren't that. They're none of the above. So this is actually more correct. It looks nicer and it's more correct, and I need to reload. That's what the problem is. I haven't watched The Matrix in years at this point. So I think it's on that list of movies I need to make my wife watch because I don't think she's seen it. Okay, so we should be loaded up. Oh, that's new. I don't know why that's doing that. Here, let's close that. Let's try again. There's a lot going on under the hood of Foundry, and sometimes things just don't work. Especially when you're messing with everything. It definitely sometimes doesn't work. Okay, let's come back here. Let's put a breakpoint here. It should not get here with anything. It did it again. Okay. I have an idea. Huh. Okay. I don't. Did I do something wrong? Is this wrong? Am I. Do I need to do this? I might need to do this. It might be saying not entity instance of. Which I don't know what that even means. That's gibberish, but I don't know. Maybe it's trying that. Well, let's try again. There we go. That time it only the actor got through. Okay. Actor, cool, perfect. What inheritable items do you have? Uh oh, apparently that was already cached. Okay. Let's just Close. Reopen. Oh, it's because that's also cached. I need a disable cache button. Although that would cause other problems, but I thought it was so clever adding these caches in, and now I'm like, it makes it way harder to debug. Hmm. I could put a, yeah, I could put a control in there in the settings and turn that off. Might be a good idea, actually. Or just do a, no, that breaks stuff. Yeah, I might have to add that in the future, but for now, let's just see what it's doing. Okay. This should, did this fix the problem? Because I think it actually might have been, I think it might have been causing a problem with the existing thing. Wait, now you are going in there. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Back to this. Items. Uh, okay, it does have medium on here, so that is good. Actually, that is very good, actually. Attributes. Yeah, I know. Cached. Yep. Okay. We're here. We're here. Good. Lovely. Values. Where are you at now? After filtering, there's nothing there. Oh, because it's, for some reason, is droid. Okay, well, let's see what the final product is, because I think this actually might be correct now. Nope. It's still wrong. Okay. Damage die. Okay. Key, unarmed damage. Unarmed damage. Okay, so it is still filtering through incorrectly. Oh, wait a minute. I remember now. Okay, parent prerequisites are okay. Prerequisites that are on changes are resolved at a different time. It's been a very long time since I worked on this part of the system, so uh, goodness. Okay, that means that is completely correct. And we're gonna get down here. Is there a parent? No. Let's see. character or NPC. And if it doesn't fail to meet the parent prerequisites. Okay, that does actually seem like what I want. There we go. All right, we get to look at the prerequisite system tonight then. Wait, why is it? Oh, I see. Okay. Key size index value 4. Okay. Arm damage from medium. Oh, wait. Size colossal. It's not what I want. Gargantuan, huge, large, medium. Okay, so target is cultist priest, and we want to figure out the size of it. So does it meet the prerequisite in here? Alright, so get the resolved size. Oh, I see what it's doing. It's because it calls meet prerequisites. Oh, jeez. Resolved size is 4. And the size array. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. No, 0, 1. Okay, so that should be medium. Okay. So it's pushing a success to it. It succeeds. That's good. Okay. Alright. I'm going to admit my prerequisite system might be too complicated for my own good. Okay. Alright. Values. Oh. Should be key size bonus. No, I don't want that one. Values. Okay, that's exactly what it should be. Why? What? Oh, I'm very confused right now. Why is this doing this? All right, I think what's happening is the max so this is using has a reduce function built into it, which again might have been too complicated for my own good. Um, I think there's something wrong with the max function, and when it gets when it gets a single die, it doesn't know what to do with it. All right. We are going to try see if that's it. All right, so we are going to walk through this, and when we get down to the end here, it should have a single value in values. It does. Cool. That's a good sign. All right. Reduce max. If there's no reduce, return. It does have one, so we're going to do this. If it's not an array, make it an array. It is. It's not that. It's okay. So it's going to make that to uppercase, which it already is. Reduce. All right. So let's see. If there's only one value, the max value is the only value. I don't know why there is no. Okay. We're just going to start with that. Actually, I kind of want to see where this is going to go. Map. Sub. Get value size. Okay, I do want to see what this does. Alright, so what this is doing is it's weighting the dice. It's trying to figure out what the largest one is, because I arbitrarily decided that if you have multiple sources of unarmed damage like that, it's going to take the larger die. I don't know if that's correct. It's just I needed a choice to be made, so I made one, and that's what. If I have to change, if I find out there's a rule where it's not that, I will change it. But so far, that is exactly what I'm doing. If A equals undefined, or then B. Oh. Max would be 4. A is undefined. Then it should return B. Huh. Parentheses. Uh oh, did I miss parentheses somewhere? Are you saying I missed parentheses, or that it's a mess of parentheses because I around A equals undefined? Ah, maybe. I don't think that shouldn't do it, but hell, that could do it. Okay, let's give that a go. Yeah, that's kind of the problem with JavaScript, because that may work in a lot of places and also might not work in some places because eh. It is super weird though, switching between JavaScript and Java, because well, so they're completely different languages. There's no similarities really. Um, well, I suppose they've got more similar over time, but not in good ways. Okay, and we get down to max value. Okay. Turn sub. My first. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So C. So I've been learning more about C++ lately. I might actually have to start writing it soon. Um, it's very similar to Java. They actually intentionally did a lot of things similar to Java because Java was so popular at the time that they started adopting stuff from it. Um, the thing that scares me about C++ though is that memory is not managed at all. Well, maybe it is to an extent, but there's a lot of um, there's memory management that you have to do manually, which I'm not. That's one thing I like about Java. I don't have to worry about that. I get to worry about other. There's other things to worry about. That's not one of them. Yeah, so I am kind of concerned about doing that. You know, I bet if I just extract this into a variable, that'll make it way more easier to way easier to see. Okay. Um, I'm gonna do the thing I tell people never to do. A single letter variable. There we go. Yeah, JavaScript has no relation to Java whatsoever. The only reason it was called JavaScript is because Java was popular. Java was one of those weird things that was just again, I think when it was like breaking out and very popular, it was an awful language. Like the early days of Java, just absolutely awful. It's extremely hard to read. It encouraged a lot of paradigms that it didn't really support, in my opinion. Like a lot of the inheritance stuff, it really did not support that at the beginning. But that was like its bread and butter, and it was like, yeah, come do object orientation with us, and it's like, yeah, no, don't do that. um, no, my day job is working in legacy code that is written in like Java 4, which is like before it had any of the features that made it good at doing object orientation. However, you happen to feel about object orientation. And at this point, Java is. I think Java is actually a solid language at this point. It had I'm only on. I only use 8 at work. We're finally moving to 11. I think 21 is out. They changed the versioning though. If you're unaware, that um, it went from. One moment, my brain is doing two things at once. Wait. The index is 1d4. Oh boy, I'm confused. B. Get value size. Oh my gosh, did this never work? It's supposed to be a. Huh. Well, that explains it. This is completely broken. It never worked correctly. Um. Okay. It's supposed to take the highest indexed value. It's not doing that at all. Well, that explains a lot. I don't know how this ever worked. This happens to be doing some of it correctly accidentally. The tests I have must have been hitting the edge case that and not the main. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, let's see. How to get the highest index? Oh, it's just length minus one. Um, sub. So this is gonna be. And this looks broken too because it's doing the same thing but backwards. So it's going to be sub 0. Oh, there. All right. Well, I don't know how I ever got that working. Because apparently, well, I must have changed the max value. I did. I changed the max value to support dice. It used to not support dice. It used to only support numbers, which was the normal thing that those do. There you go. All right. Now, if I look at this, just run it. It's still broken. Okay. Hey, but we definitely found a bug there. It might be that it's counting the length as 2. Yeah. Um. Hmm. That's not what I want, though. How do you find the largest index in an array? There we go. That's not what I want. Does no one sort things like that? Am I doing a weird sort method? I might just be doing a sort method no one uses, and it doesn't make any sense to do the way I'm doing it. Um. Okay, so instead I want to do uh, all right, and then let's see, do I want, and it's a reduce, so I want to get the max. Oh, since I want max, I want uh, A is greater than B. No, A size is greater than B size. Return A or return B. There we go. Oh, that looks hideous. Let's put some spaces in there for the humans. There we go. All right. Let's run that real quick, and then if that's correct, I'm going to put that into the... Wait, what? Oh, because it's showing me what's actually being loaded. I don't want that to load, though. All right. Hey, there we go. It was being too clever. All right, we're going to put this into the min as well and just invert it, obviously. This does have a problem where if the sizes end up being the same, that can be a problem. Like if you had like 1d8 and 2d4, I think would end up being the same index, which is a problem with this method, and I don't know if I care. I don't know. Maybe I should do something with it, but I don't think it's going to come up. If it comes up, I will fix it. But until then, I will not. Okay. Wow, so I really was in the weeds there for a bit. We got about 20 minutes left of the stream. Does anyone else have questions? Or is there anything else that I said I would fix during the stream that I totally forgot about and I passed over in favor of going into a reduce method that no one cares about? No, why are you... I don't care. No, stop doing that. Huh. Well, I don't like that. That should spell the whole thing out. Oh well. Guess it's not that big of a deal. All right, I did discover an issue on my own recently. Let's go take a look at that one. Well, no, that's not even that important of one because it has an easy workaround. Let's see. The encumbrance meter being broken looks like something I can fix in about 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and do that one. Okay. We're gonna grab. Well, first, let's go see how we are doing this currently. Templates, actor, parts. Weapon art. No, it's not that. Okay, is it just on here? No, my goal eventually, one of the last things I'm going to implement, but I think is going to be one of the really cool features, is being able to handle shards, shard characters, which is such a niche character that I haven't bothered with it yet. But if you're unaware what those are, it is a sentient crystal that takes over a droid. So essentially, my plan is to use a similar feature like the slots on vehicles, and essentially make it so there's a shard slot add-on for droids that will turn them into like a vehicle, essentially a vehicle for a shard character. Um, I have it in my head how I'm going to do it. It's just such an unimportant thing because literally nobody has asked for this. I don't like the possibility of somebody actually playing a shard is so rare. I mean, it's not really rare. It's just something that someone could play, but nobody's asked for it. I'm just excited to get to it eventually. All right, we're looking at own equipment tab. Yeah, so they're force sensitive crystals that drive droids essentially. Yeah, so it's that one way you get to have your multi-legged droid. You can make a General Grievous essentially who's also force sensitive like that. I think that'd be really fun. Um, yeah, they're such obscure Legends material though. I'm not like I'm not super worried about getting them done. I'm just excited about doing it because I think it'll be really cool. I do have some ideas for the droid sheets and making them a little more different from regular character sheets. I think having a way to like increase the number of hands you have and what you're equipping to them and like doing a little more with that would be fun. Um, haven't really, yeah. It's one of those things though that's not, yeah, Darth Grievous. No, I just remember reading the novelization for that movie. Oh God, I must have been in high school at the time, and there's one detail that I still remember very vividly is that during that fight, Obi-Wan realizes that he can sense the servos in Grievous's arms, and he randomly is freezing them to get a little bit of an edge to take out his hands. And the reason that's important is because he in the novel he does the same thing to Anakin when he's fighting him on Mustafar. So it's like these details that aren't in the movie probably aren't canon anymore. But I thought that was just the coolest thing that he was just like able to be aware of like little servos in motors, or little motors while he's doing a lightsaber duel and being able to affect that with the Force. And I thought that was really neat. All right. Title: strain capacity, maximum capacity, actor weight, heavy load. Is the problem that I'm using the wrong weight field? I might be. Because there's the character's weight, and then there's the carried weight, and I think I might be just using the wrong thing. Yeah, so it would be cargo capacity dot capacity and dot, yeah. So I'm just doing the wrong thing apparently. These probably should all be part of the same thing though. Actor weight, actor heavy load. Oh boy, I gotta look at the encumbrance rules again. There's a couple of different stages of encumbrance, and they're right. I see them right there, but I'm not. Your armor defines your maximum dexterity bonus to reflex defense. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so once it gets past a point, you care about it. I remember that. Strength score squared times 0.5. Okay. Is that happening right now? Strength 12. 144 times 0.5 is 74. That doesn't seem right. Oh, strain capacity is 72. Maximum capacity is 144. I think everything over 36 is a heavy load. Is that how that works? Um. Oh, if the total equals or exceeds the square of 1/2 your character's strength score, he or she is carrying a heavy load and takes a -10 on checks made with the following skills. I don't know if that's being done, but okay, so that is the right number. Okay, so those are right. The only problem is this first one, and I think that's just because I'm grabbing the wrong thing. Uh, actor to heavy load, strain capacity, maximum capacity. Um, no, no. Um, So the answer is yes, that is happening. Cool. Maximum capacity, heavy load, weight. Item.system.weight. Well, that's not right. I think that's actually supposed to. Weight is actually supposed to be the character's weight, which is something you can input on the field. I don't know why this is. It actually accidentally was overloaded at some point, so that's wrong. But what I can do is just go get carried weight. And what we're going to do is sum resolve weight, item system quantity. Oh, I see. It's because there's a cost factor. Okay. All right. Can I do this in 8 minutes? No, I can't. Resolve size droid. Oh, that's the cost factor. Okay. I think I just want to copy this into here, and I'll update that weight to hold the correct one. Carried weight. All right. So for each item, we need to get the actual weight, which is either this. This is the old way of doing it, though. What the new way of doing it is the inheritable items. No, get inheritable attribute, and the entity is going to be item. Attribute key is weight. And we're just going to do a reduce of sum. Okay. That's going to be let's see. I'm just going to ignore the old version of weight. That doesn't make sense to keep doing. Question on the sheet. In the prompt that appears to make an attack, what is Smart Hands mode? Smart Hands mode is something I have not finished. It is supposed to be the ability. It's essentially supposed to calculate the best way of wielding a weapon because two-handed versus one-handed makes a difference, and there are actually cases where two-hand is better and cases where one-hand is better based on the rules. I didn't finish it yet. I started doing that, and then V11 came out, and I started updating, and I forgot to pull. I forgot to remove the checkbox. It shouldn't be there right now. So yeah, it will be there. There's just there's issues. It's tied to I could find that is tied to. Do, 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 do. There's a problem with dual wielding, I think. No? Okay. Yeah, but there was an issue. There was essentially early an issue where it was automatically adding, like subtracting something twice when it shouldn't have been. And so I was trying to fix that and make it so it was more intuitive. But yeah, it does not currently work. Okay, so here I'm going to have the total weight. Yeah, you're welcome. I try to not put incomplete things on there. It just that one kind of got away from me a little bit. There we go. We got the weight. And then it does have to be handled with the quantity of that item. There. And the cost factor from droids. Let's see, does it actually. Oh, man. I wonder if this actually works correctly. We'll see. Some of the stuff I just don't. It's been so long since I touched it, and it doesn't seem to have been working correctly this entire time, so I'm concerned it doesn't work. Actor sheet. Actor carried weight. All right. Is this the guy? Yeah. Does Mace have a weight? Well, it should. Changes. Weight 2.5 kilograms. Um, why are you not? Um, no, that's weird. It probably should be hitting the break point. Um, heavy load. Am I doing? What am I doing wrong here? That's exactly how. That might be caching to the wrong place. We're just going to remove the caching for now. If the caching key is the same, it might be being written out somewhere else, which would be weird, but yeah, now it's being hit. Okay. Equipment 2. Yeah, that's about right, right? Oh. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to bother with the caching then on that. 2 maces. And the weight is 2. Okay. I could have sworn it was 2.5 kilograms before, but I'm not going to question it. Actually, can I, how does this actually handle weight correctly? It doesn't seem to. Oh, I did the first one. Oh, so apparently it doesn't save right now? That's not good. Is that not saving? It's not saving. Great. Okay. Okay. Well, I am at my stopping time for the evening. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out. I I don't know if I answer questions quickly enough on Discord for everyone's taste, but I try to. Um, yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you want to know about or anything, and I will try to do this in. Well, 2 months from now is going to be. Oh, it's gonna be November, so I think I can do that. I don't know. If there's interest in 2 months, I'll do another one. If there isn't interest, I will not. So we'll see. All right, everyone, have a good night. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you later.